Was I wearing this hoodie back when I read this? Was I living in this room? These are notes from my 2011 reading, The Epic of Gilgamesh as a University of Washington student. Today is Monday, 18 May, 2026 AD. That is unnecessary for this one. Here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, talk through my notes from my 2011 reading of The Epic of Gilgamesh, approximately 2100 to 1200 BC, it's crafting / publishing, as a University of Washington student, themes in Near East literature course, including an assessment if reading it might be a piece of the puzzle that fits for me attempting a graduate degree in language and literature. Yes, so I'm not including the author here intentionally because there was a lot of these writings that are, so it's 2026 AD and, initial publishing of 2100 BC is over 4,000 years ago. So there are themes in the literature of the Near East, but there were also like, do I know the author? And so this is one where even if there was a well-known author, I was like, if I return to talk about this, maybe just like put it on like the dates and the name, because it was pretty early on in modern writing, if we want to call it over 4,000 years ago modern writing, and it was really good. We read different texts, and so Near East literature was like, maybe like it included some works in the like 2,000 to 4,000 years of age range. And so this is one that was towards the beginning of that, and I read the full thing of, and I was like, this is better than modern writing. And it was an English translation. But I just remember being so surprised, and it was well done. It was captivating. I termed it, so I liked action and adventure, and it kind of fell into that. And I was like reading it, and I was in school. I ended up graduating for my bachelor's degree with a Bachelor of Science in Geology and Geophysics with a minor in Mathematics. So this is one that I chose of my own initiative for being a well-rounded individual. There were electives, and there was like, there could be stuff that were like kind of closer to science, and I was like, I don't even know what Near East literature is, so I signed up for the course and I aced it. I got an A in the class, and so there was I got to surprise myself in that I could actually get an A in a literature class, and I was like, if something like science didn't work out, or even better, I got a grounding in science, this would actually be a fun one. And it also included like, let's see, a Greek writer, Homer, was another, let's say, individual covered in the course, even if just a flash of lightning, so to speak, compared to the Epic of Gilgamesh, which this girl absolutely adored and still adores, 13 years later. So I read it approximately, so the course was like January to March 2011, so like approximately 2011. I was approximately 18 years of age when I read it, and it was kind of, the professor was good, and they kind of let us critique the works that we read. It didn't have to be like a certain slant on literature. We were allowed to kind of like glean from it for our own self. And I was like, if that's what graduate school in literature is about, I might actually be up for that. Which gets me to if science didn't work out, or I were to become like somehow get some sort of basic training in science, it'd be fun to come and like have that perspective, right? It was like like that was like that. It was like, it would be horrible because something in my life went really wrong if I were to get like a science degree and then I ended up in graduate school for literature and like I come back to the Epic of Gilgamesh itself. So something in my life really went wrong if that happens, but it would also be very cool because it's true to the origins of my interest in this literature. I was in college for science and mathematics. Right? My degree was geology, Bachelor of Science in Geology and Geophysics with an academic minor, paperwork level in mathematics. Right? And I took this course as part of the coursework for that degree, including the major and the minor. So I was like, well, nothing new. You know, like I was interested in literature when I got that science and mathematics duo. And so in that sense, I was like, well, if we're really going to keep dreams on, it'd be fun to do like a major in like Near Eastern, and then like somehow give credit to the English part of it, because I did read English. It was an English translation. So nowadays I might call that a minor. I was thinking of majors and minors back then, right? It wasn't out of the blue that I chose a minor in mathematics. But yeah, so it was the text that really drew me in, where I was like, I could call this home if I ended up like my life got derailed and I went to graduate school, or like I had a degree and I was like, and I knew what graduate school was, because like I didn't, at that point when I read this text, I didn't know what graduate school was, for real. Okay, so I've come a far way. I did over 4.00 years towards graduate degrees kind of thing, and a graduate degree programs for geophysics at the University of California, Berkeley, and I quit with no degree. So I'm like, I have some inkling, but I didn't graduate, so do I really know what graduate school is? Or do I get to start afresh and do this? Start afresh with Gilgamesh. But is it new? It's true to my origins of where my interest in literature comes from, so, which is over 4,000 years ago. So those are notes from my 2011 reading of the Epic of Gilgamesh as a University of Washington